ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So this is a very conclusive verse. Till now we have been hearing and reading about the wonderful aerial mansion which was created by Kardama Muni. He performed lot of wonderful feats. He made an aerial mansion. He transformed Devahuti from being skinny, dirty, into a very, very youthful princess. And then later on with Devahuti, he traveled everywhere, as we saw in the last verse, even surpassing all the demigods. Even the demigods could not travel to such places where Kardama Muni could travel, because demigods also have certain restrictions. They can travel to certain places but not to all the planets. But Kardama Muni was able to do that. So how it was possible for Kardama Muni to perform all these wonderful feats? This conclusion is given here. This is very important for all the devotees to understand, because sometimes we find ourselves unqualified. Prabhu, what can I contribute in Krishna consciousness? I'm not very intelligent, not very learned, I cannot remember shlokas. Isn't it? Sometimes a lot of imperfections we find in ourselves. And we wonder, what can I contribute in Krishna consciousness? Well, here we can see Bhagavatam is saying nothing is impossible for a great devotee. So for becoming a great devotee, we don't require all these different erudition and different kinds of talents one may have. No, one doesn't require. By the mercy of the Lord, by taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, nothing is impossible for a devotee. This is a very important conclusion we can understand. That actually, see, we have to understand Krishna is all powerful. Correct? Krishna can make his power, his mercy flow through the Guru Parampara. Mercy of the Lord is available to any living entity who can come in touch with a pure representative of Krishna in Guru Parampara. That same mercy is available. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartana. And if we want to bring a transformation in this world, it is not possible without getting Krishna Shakti. without getting His mercy, without getting the powers from the Lord, it is not possible that we can transform people into Krishna consciousness. So if we are becoming an instrument in the hand of the Lord by making people into devotees, we must give that credit to the Lord. We must give that credit to our spiritual master, through whom that power of Krishna, the mercy of Krishna is flowing, and we are able to make people into Krishna consciousness. Because it's a fact. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartana. Without Krishna Shakti, there is no possibility of making somebody Krishna conscious. But it depends how much Krishna Shakti do we receive. The more we become purified, the more we can receive the blessings, the mercy, the strength to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. It just depends on how much pure we are. If you all remember, there is a very famous slogan in Krishna consciousness. Purity is the force. Isn't it a fact? Actually. It's not I become some YouTube hero, big lectures we give and we think that is the force. No. Actually, purity is the force. The more we are purified, the more we will be able to make people attracted to Krishna. So, these fundamental things we should understand. It's very important. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he has about his own life, describing about his own life. He describes, before writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he prays, he offers a prayer to the Lord. That prayer is very important. This is how actually all devotees should feel. Actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was a very great devotee of the Lord. At a very, very old age, he started writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was not able to even properly see. He was not able to properly walk. His hands were shaking. And to produce a transcendental literature like Chaitanya Charitamrita at such an age is nothing lesser than a miracle. It is a miracle actually. All of us must have seen the place, the small hut where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita at the banks of Radha Kund, right? All of us would have visited that small bhajan kutir of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, where he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is nothing less than a miracle. Actually, see, so before writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he sings a prayer which I think we also sing sometime, that prayer. In our prayer sheet it is there. Jayatam suratau pangor mama mandamatere gati mat sarvasya padam bhojau radha madana mohanau. It's a very interesting prayer. He says, all glories, Jayatam, Suratau, all glories to all merciful, because it's a fact. Without getting the mercy from the Lord, nothing in spiritual life can be achieved. Even though we may be having sadhana siddha, but even sadhana attracts mercy of the Lord. Without getting the mercy of the Lord. So, he is saying all glories to all merciful Radha Madan Mohana. Radha Madan Mohan, the deities at Vrindavan, which were installed by Sanatana Goswami, Radha Madan Mohan. So he is saying, Pangor Mama, I am actually lame. Just like, what can a lame man do? He cannot even walk properly. Where is the question of running? Cannot even walk. Pangor Mama. Not only I am lame, Mandagate. I am ill-advised. I do not know what should be done, what should not be done. But he is saying, yet, I have taken refuge. Gatir, Mat Sarvasya, and I have taken refuge at the lotus feet of Padam Bhojau, Radha Madan Mohan's lotus feet I have taken shelter at. They are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything. This is the process of advancing in Krishna consciousness. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also prays. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram, O son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, Ainanda Tanuja, Kinkaram, I am your eternal servant. But unfortunately, because of being averse to your service, Patitam, I have fallen down. Where have I fallen down? Patitam Mam Vishame, in this horrible Bhavam Budhau, in this material ocean of birth and death, I have fallen down. So he is praying to the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing us how to pray to the Lord. Kripaya, by your causeless mercy. See how important actually is the mercy of the Lord. If we want to get out of this material entanglement, we have to get the causeless mercy of the Lord. Kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita dhulis sadrisham. Just place me like a dust at your lotus feet. Sadrisha. Just like dust at your lotus feet. Vichintaya. Kindly consider my prayer. So, this is the glory of taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is the glory of Kardama. His real glory is not that he was a great yogi. That is not his real glory. There are many yogis who perform many wonderful feats. But the glory of Kardama Muni is not because of his being a great yogi, he could perform some great tapasyas. His real glory is he has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So here in this verse, very beautifully, three important points are mentioned. In the verse itself, it says, Kim durapadam tesham. What is not possible for a great devotee? Durapadam means, is there anything which is not possible for them? For whom? That is explained later. That means, for a great devotee of the Lord who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, nothing is impossible. Just like for the Lord, nothing is impossible. Similarly, by the mercy of the Lord, for a devotee, nothing is impossible. Rather, sometimes the Lord Himself shows that actually what I cannot achieve, my devotees can achieve. Just to give them more glories. Just to give glories to Arjuna, the Lord made Arjuna to fight with the Lord could have achieved. He could have finished the whole battle of Kurukshetra in a second. But he wanted to give the glories to his devotees. Lord Rama could have crossed over the ocean, but he himself showed, no, I cannot cross over, I have to build a bridge. But just by chanting the name of Lord Rama, Hanuman just crossed over. So nothing is impossible actually for a devotee of the Lord. So, Kim Durapadam Tesham Pumsam Uddhama Chetasam. Those who are determined to take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. With determination they have taken shelter. Not that I have taken shelter and when difficulty comes, then I take shelter of material world, I take shelter of some devatas, demigods. No. Those with determination who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Yer ashrita tirtha padas charano vyasana atyayaha. So, one is that there is nothing difficult, impossible for a great devotee who are determined and who have taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. The lotus feet of the Lord, they are called as Tirtha Padas. This is very interesting. How these things are so interrelated. Whatever is spoken in the verse, it is all very interrelated. Now we will try to analyze how Prabhupada is analyzing why one who has taken shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, why there is nothing impossible for him. Because we may wonder, what is it? I take shelter, let us say I take shelter at some Devata's feet. Is it nothing will be impossible for me? I can do anything. I take shelter at some great so-called personality. Then will I become so powerful that nothing will be impossible for me? Right? So here it is said nothing is impossible for Kardama Muni because he has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. What is that greatness of the lotus feet of the Lord? Let me see. By which, if somebody takes shelter of those lotus feet, then he becomes so powerful that nothing is impossible for him. Correct? So that is described. Yes, because the lotus feet of the Lord is not ordinary. The lotus feet of the Lord, they are called as Tirtha Pada. Here they are called as Tirtha Padas, Tesham. All holy places, Tirthas, like river Ganga, they are all at the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. They all emanate from the lotus feet of the Lord. All the Tirthas, they are present at the lotus feet of the Lord. Now imagine how powerful are Tirthas actually. Just imagine the power of Tirthas. If somebody takes bath in river Ganga, all his sinful activities are purified. Imagine. This is the strength of the Tirthas. This is the mercy of the Lord, that even though knowingly, unknowingly we have committed some sinful activities, But somehow or other, if we go to holy place and take a bath in such holy rivers like Ganga or Yamuna, then actually all our sinful activities can be finished, vanquished. This is the power of tirthas. The power of tirthas is that actually if somebody with proper consciousness takes shelter of tirtha, hears from a pure devotee of the Lord, then his material bondage, his material existence, all the dangers of this material existence comes to an end. And imagine, all these tirthas are situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. So, there are two words which are used here for the lotus feet of the Lord. One is tirthapada, another is tirthapadas charanaha, that is one. Vyasana atyayaha. If somebody takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, they are so powerful that all material dangers, everything is vanquished. So Prabhupada is relating how it is possible, because that is how tirthas are. They can vanquish our material entanglement from this world. That is the mercy of the Lord. And all of them are available at the lotus feet of the Lord. All these tirthas are at the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So, this is practically as good as that nothing is impossible for a devotee of the Lord. That is how Prabhupada is comparing. How it is said, nothing is impossible. Because that is the power of the lotus feet of the Lord, taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Remembers a very interesting shloka from Bhagavatam, which explains about how the lotus feet of the Lord are like a great ship, and if somebody takes shelter of that ship, they are like the boat or the ship. If somebody takes shelter of that, then this great material ocean becomes reduced to a calf's hoof print. Anyone remembers that shloka? Samashrita ye pada pallava plavam. Correct? Mahat padam punya yasho murare. This is the lotus feet of the Lord. They are called as Mahat Padam. They are not ordinary lotus feet. They are compared to Pallava. It's like a boat, just like a lotus. Also, it is floating on the water. It's something like a boat. So the lotus feet of the Lord are great, so great they are like a boat. If we take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, we can cross over this material ocean, and this great material ocean, which is called Mahat, it becomes reduced by the mercy of the Lord to calf's hoof print. Bhavam Budhir Vatsapadam. This Bhavam Budhir, it becomes like a Vatsapadam. Correct? So that is the glory of taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Let us see how Prabhupada is very nicely analyzing this here. I'll just read this out. How Prabhupada is saying. How Prabhupada gives a connection between all these different glories of the Lord. Very beautifully. Prabhupada is saying here. The word Yahirashrita Tirtha Padas Charana are significant. Anyone who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, these words are very significant. Because here it is said that Charana, they are called as Tirthapadas. The Charanas are described here specially as Tirthapadas. Because by different names, the lotus feet of the Lord are described. Here they are called as Tirthapadas because it is very significant here. Why? So Prabhupada is explaining. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Tirthapada because all the Tirthas are situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. He is called Tirthapada. Especially Prabhupada is giving the example. The Ganges is called sacred river because it emanates from the toe of Vishnu. So from where Ganga has come? From the toe of Lord Vishnu it has come. So he is a Tirthapada. Ganges is meant to eradicate all material distresses of the conditioned souls. Why the Lord has given this facility of these great rivers which have emanated from the lotus feet of the Lord? They have become so sanctified, they have touched the lotus feet of the Lord, that if they come in touch with anyone, they can eradicate their material conditioned life. For any living entity, therefore, who has taken shelter of the holy lotus feet of the Lord, nothing is impossible. See how Prabhupada is connecting. Nothing is impossible. Because these feet are so great. That Ganga which comes out from the lotus feet of the Lord has so much power, it can end your material life. So ending material life, what greater wonder you can perform than that? Tell me. Is making some mansion, yearly mansion, something great? Isn't it? Is going from one place to another, different planets, is that something great? Okay, they are all wonderful feats, no doubt about it, whatever Kardama Muni performed. Bhagavatam is saying, Arey Baba, what is this? This is not something great. For a great devotee like Kardama Muni, nothing is impossible. Why? Prabhupada is giving the example here. Just by taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, they can come out of all material entanglement itself, for which people are performing tapasyas millions and millions and millions of years. So, Kardama Muni is special, not because he was a great mystic, but because he was a great devotee. Therefore, it is said, for a great devotee like Kardama Muni, nothing is impossible. Although yogis can perform wonderful feats, as Kardama has already displayed, Kardama was more than a yogi because he was a great devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he was more glorious than an ordinary yogi. Which shloka Prabhupada is quoting next to explain devotee is greater than all yogis? Prabhupada is only giving the translation from Bhagavad Gita. But what is the yoga? What is that shloka? Yogi nam api sarvesham madgata antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yoma. That is the shloka Prabhupada is saying. As it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, out of many yogis, he who is devotee of the Lord is first class. For a person like Kardama Muni, there is no question of being conditioned. This is another important thing. If Ganga river, somebody takes bath and river Ganga has a power to liberate a person by taking away all his sins. For a devotee who has taken shelter at the source of Ganga, the lotus feet of the Lord, do you think he is conditioned? He is already liberated. That is what it is said, Vyasana Atyayaha. If somebody takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, all his material dangers are vanquished, finished. Because he becomes liberated. No more he is in touch with matter. Material energy has no influence on him. Cannot influence him. He was already a liberated soul and better than the demigods who are also conditioned. Another very interesting thing you can see here. Prabhupada is saying, Why it is said here, especially in this verse, is because we are seeing and we may wonder, Arey, what is this? Kardama Muni has been enjoying with his wife and so many beautiful women, everything. No. It is said here, Vyasana Atyayaha. All material impurities, all material dangers, everything is vanquished. Because Kardama Muni has already taken shelter. So what we see from external, we should not get bewildered by that. He is already a liberated personality. He is only carrying out his duties. So this last paragraph, what Prabhupada is saying, is very interesting. Prabhupada is saying, although he was enjoying with his wife and many other women, he was above material conditioned life. See, in material condition we enjoy, the consciousness is different. It gets degraded. On spiritual platform, when we have become liberated, even though seemingly looks like Kardama Muni is also enjoying his wife, he is also enjoying with all these apsaras. They're all singing beautiful song, they're creating an atmosphere where Kardama Muni can, enjoy with his wife. But he's already on spiritual platform. On spiritual platform, there is no material things, there is no question of material lust in that sense. Therefore, the word Vyasana Atyayaha is used to indicate he was beyond the position of conditioned soul. He was transcendental to all material limitation. So even though he is enjoying with his wife, he is enjoying with all these apsaras, but actually he is beyond all these things. And that is why this word is specifically used here. So this is what we can see from this verse. We'll stop with this. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki